I was diagnosed with endometriosis when I was 31, even though I've been complaining of pain, bleeding and fatigue since my teens. Hi, my name's Aisha, and there's 3 things that you may not know about me. One is that I love to meditate twice a day, and the reasons why I do this is to alleviate stress and reduce anxiety. 2 is I adore travelling, and whenever I get the opportunity, I really like exploring different countries and different cultures. And 3, when my long infertility journey came to an end, I founded Mind Body Revival Coach, where I provide one-to-one coaching for those who are infertile or involuntary childless. I was diagnosed with endometriosis when I was 31, even though I've been complaining of pain, bleeding and fatigue since my teens. And in my teens, my 20s and my early 30s, I was suffering so much with debilitating pain, and it was only when I couldn't fall pregnant that I was actually taken seriously and believed by medical professionals. And it made me realise that my reproductive health at that moment was valued above my mental and my physical health. When I was diagnosed with endometriosis, they found it around my ovaries and my bowel, and in the last 10 years it spread to my rectum, unfortunately. So my infertility journey began around 12 years ago, and back then the narrative was very much about don't give up or never give up. And the next 10 years looked like many unsuccessful rounds of IVF. I had over 11 and I had multiple miscarriages, and then eventually, because the process was really stressful and a lot of strain on my mental and physical health, I decided that it was a viable option to leave the process without a baby. So infertility really impacted my life for a very long time. It was very isolating. There was a stigma, the shame, the embarrassment, the taboo, and a lot of the time I was feeling very anxious, depressed and on edge, and they weren't the fertility or childless not by choice Instagram accounts that there are now for support. And further along my journey, the medication became a lot more intense, and it started to really affect my mental health and my physical health. And I noticed that my endometriosis was, got a lot worse, and it started to impact all my relationships, and I just didn't like who I was becoming. And I think people don't understand the impact that infertility has on a person and their daily life. I was in limbo, and one of the reasons I decided to walk away is because I wanted to start living my life that I'd put on hold for a very long time. So for the first 7 years of my infertility journey, I had the support of my husband and my immediate family, which was lovely, but they didn't know, that much about infertility. And I didn't share that much with my friends because I just couldn't take the unsolicited advice, like just relax or pray harder, because that's really unhelpful when you're on a path that's already stressful. And it was only in the 8th year of my journey that I decided that I needed professional help, and I had therapy and coaching, and for me they were just real game changers. Being able to sit in the ache and talk to someone who's objective about your struggle, it was really powerful, and it really lifted the grief, and all the heartache that I was holding in for a long time. And coaching really helped, because it helped me to look at my life in the future and see what or how I wanted it to look when I was going to leave the process without a baby. So the turning point for me, there are just multiple reasons. In the 7th, 8th, 9th year of my infertility journey, it was very stressful, and I found it more and more difficult. But in the 10th year, it was everything that I found difficult: the financial hits, the disappointments, the constant IVF fails, the miscarriages. My endometriosis was getting a lot worse. My mental health was suffering, my physical health was suffering, my relationships were strained, and it just seemed like infertility overshadowed anything good in my life. And these were the main reasons for me walking away without a baby. And luckily, during that time, Instagram had a lot more accounts of those who'd left the process without a baby when it came to infertility. And that gave me a lot of strength, and that made me understand that walking away without a baby is also a viable option. And I'm so glad I did, because I was really struggling and I tried everything I could and none of it worked. So actually seeing people out there who were in a similar situation to me gave me a lot of courage, and it was the bravest thing that I've ever done, walking away from infertility without a baby, and I'm so glad I did. If you'd like to work with me, I'm a certified coach, and my website is www.mindbodyrevivalcoach.com, and I provide one-to-one coaching for those struggling with infertility or who are involuntary childless.